and welcome to Xena Warrior Podcast. My name is Vera, and I'm joined, as always, by my two combustible co-hosts, Katie.
Hello.
And Livy.
Hi.
We are flames. We are eternal flames.
Totally flaming.
Today we're going to be talking about a second episode of our three-parter Norse trilogy situation that we are doing now.
7 days.
Yes, I mean, prepare for a gazillion jokes about The Ring.
Oh my god.
Maybe not a gazillion, maybe like another one.
Yeah, I was like, I think that's like not a deep well.
Deep well!
Oh, jeez. All right, never mind.
So...
The Ring, the movie.
The Ring, the
horror
movie.
as we should
Yes.
clarify. It has literally nothing to do with anything
I mean,
at all.
previously on Xena, we made jokes about The Ring already.
Yep.
So, yeah, so this is the second part of a trilogy.
Yes.
And I think we wanted to sort of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
What is that in a story? Like, what does that mean?
Act 2.
Nice. Nice.
Three.
My favorite act.
It is neither the beginning nor the end.
But the middle.
But the middle, where you can have the freedom to have fun, I think.
I agree. You don't have to set anything up or tie anything
together and
Nice.
finish. Yes. It's where, it's like the little happy fun time place.
I guess.
And cinematically, I would say there's a long tradition of awesome middle chapters.
That's
Right.
true.
It's a thing.
It's like, how come there's like better middle? Is that why, like, if you have a trilogy, a lot of times the second one is the best, or people really like it, as opposed to like a sequel where people are just like, sequels are dumb?
Yeah, it's weird. Because I feel like up until recently, I had this prejudice against middles. Because, they're no fun. You're not getting to know any of the characters. They're maybe just kind of treading water until you can finish the story. That's at least the reputation I think of for them. But it's true that then, like, you think of, like, Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
Which is, like, the darkest and most complicated chapter in that original Star Wars trilogy.
Oh, right. That's an original trilogy. Now we have to separate the Star Warses by trilogy.
Right.
Right, and The
not
Last
by giant
Jedi,
chunk.
everyone's favorite, LOL.
But we haven't seen the next one.
Yeah, but the next one's
yet.
going to be like the first one, probably. It's JJ directing
Right.
it, so there's more chance of it being... Like, there's going to be a chance that The Last Jedi is going to be like your hipster answer forever as to which one of the new Star Wars trilogy is your fave.
It's hard to imagine the next episode ever being as sort of challenging to people
Yes.
as Last Jedi
Sure.
was, which I
Yes.
think upholds the mantle of middle that
chapter.
kind of make you think.
Right, like New Moon from the Twilight Saga.
That's true.
It
Suddenly
made
you bring in
think.
Jacob and you're like, oh my god.
But see, this is where I
We
was
have
going
to say
say...
book because, like,
Right.
movies have been kind of
Right.
screwing up the trilogy.
Because they want money, and so they make it be four movies
Much
or
as
more.
Wagner did with the Ring Cycle, which is
Wow.
actually 4 operas.
Whoa,
Wagner.
Wagner. Don't put a coin in again
Waited
for Wagner.
Wagner
always.
doing it first.
Yeah, F
Oh,
that.
yeah. Well, what are other
He
big
actually,
ones?
I want one note about
Yes.
Wagner and the
No,
Ring Cycle.
okay.
Sorry. He actually was modeling it after Greek drama. Because in Greek drama, you would have the trilogy of dramas and the satyr play, which we've talked about
Right,
as sort of
right.
the palate cleanser after
Yeah.
the drams. So, like, he actually thought of the first opera as the like,
funny one?
comic funny one, and then, like, the 3 serious ones.
Okay, interesting.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
not what movie studios think about.
No, that would be interesting if they did. If they're like, okay, a funny one, and then 3 sad ones.
Breaking Dawn Part 1 was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. They're all satyr plays.
Well, I wanted to go back to your point about how the middle one, like, your complaint was like, oh, you don't meet any new characters, and I actually think that that's why the second series or whatever is really good, because you are familiar with the characters, but you do tend to meet some new ones.
Right.
And usually that, it kind of challenges the like relationships that have been set up in the
Right,
first one.
yeah.
As we'll see in the Xena episode, like, is kind of true. This is sort of the relationships deepening and being challenged installment of the trilogy.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'm just trying to get a way to include how Catching Fire is the best out of the Hunger Games.
It is.
It really is. It's very different. And
You can just name trilogy.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
That's fun.
trilogies.
Well, what about the other Stomping Around New Zealand Rings trilogy? It has a good middle.
The Two Towers was my favorite.
Most people
always.
that I know like Two Towers best.
Yeah,
sure.
It's the hipster answer, I think.
So middles are the hipster answer.
Well, it's either the middles
it's
are
basic to like the end.
Yes, it's extremely basic to like the end, but you can be hipster by saying the first one or the middle one. Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Who likes the end? Who likes
Everyone
the
likes the
Godfather
end.
Part 3?
Oh,
No.
right. Yeah, that could be your hipster answer because definitely no one says
Definitely
that.
it's a hipster answer to like Godfather Part 3.
Yeah, Godfather 2, best. There you go. Middle parts are the best. Now, are we gonna say this about this episode?
Do we? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We're setting up this expectation that we're going to say that about the ring, which is funny because I do not agree.
No.
Well, which one do you like?
I like the first one.
I think so.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's our hipster answer.
That's our hipster answer.
Yeah.
I like a lot of stuff in this one.
I think it follows some of the good things about middles. You know, it's more economical. It just gets going with the action. It's packed with action. I would say this is the most action-packed of the three. But, yeah, I guess for me, I'm less interested in action. So, like,
Right.
if anything, like, the, scales were a little too heavy on action in this
Gotcha.
installment for me.
Right, yeah. I mean, I felt like this episode was actually like 2 episodes in one because sort of like the last half didn't really have anything to do with the first half, and well, we'll get into it.
That's interesting. So the first half is almost like setting up, or rather, the first half is dealing with everything left over from the Rheingold.
Exactly.
The
And then
second half is setting up.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
then in that case, it does work.
I
for the
like
whole
referring to
trilogy.
this 3-parter as a little bit of an experiment. Obviously, like, the show's never done this before.
Yeah.
Told a story across 3 parts, like, so explicitly. And I do think, you feel like it's a little rickety in places. They're figuring things out. Like, you definitely, like, see some, like, places where they're kind of repeating themselves because they have to.
Right.
Like, they're worried people are literally tuning in the middle and have to be reminded of everything that happened in the Rheingold. So, it's
well,
tricky.
that was something that's, a legitimate thought that RJ had, which was that people might be tuning into one of these only. So you have to know what's going on by constantly saying stuff that happened and setting up stuff, et cetera, et cetera. That's just how television worked. You know?
Yeah, it's the challenge of trying to be serialized in this era of TV because you can do it, but you also sort of are forced not to do it.
Right. So 608, The Ring, written by Joel Metzger and directed by Gore Verbinski. Who directed the movie.
That's a really confusing joke.
So, not for the cinephiles out there.
It's true. I would just like to stress how much I love the movie The Ring.
Yes, the movie The Ring
Speaking
invented...
of Gore Verbinski, Pirates of the Caribbean, the middle one sucks.
Don't even talk about problematic Pirates of the Caribbean.
but they're directed by Gore Verbinski.
Yes, he's so great.
Not even
he's
a
so
middle
great.
anymore.
He's so
I don't.
great.
What happens when there's like 5
shit.
of them?
I don't even know how many pirates
There's
movies
a lot.
there've been.
Yeah, there's so many now.
Ugh.
Forever gone.
Coin for how many Pirates movies there have been.
The score is great.
It is great.
Just put one in for Johnny Depp.
Okay.
So the movie The Ring, go see it. It's great. It invented Instagram filters. It's perfect.
It surely did.
It surely did. But no, this episode, The Ring, is directed by Rick Jacobson.
This is one of the hilarious instances where I probably at some point knew he directed this, but then forgot.
You literally talked about it a lot last week.
I know. So I forgot between then and now. I was watching this episode and got through the teaser and everybody started fighting in slow-mo and I was like, hi, Rick. I just knew. It was I don't need to know who directed this. I know.
I have to say, and I'm probably the minority here, but I was slightly not impressed by Rick.
You didn't think it was good?
Yeah, but I think it's because
I wasn't not impressed.
I wasn't not impressed.
I mean, we were so impressed by John Fawcett last week, and this was just mediocre.
Oh,
I've seen better, Rick. I've seen better.
But just because you've seen better doesn't make it mediocre.
It's pretty mediocre.
Huh.
Do you think it's hard to be the director of the middle installment in a J.J. Abrams sandwich?
You can make your own visuals happen, like having people in really high pants.
Does John Fawcett direct the next one?
I believe
Yes.
so.
Oh,
yes.
so it's okay. So
Yeah.
the Fawcett's
Yeah, so I mean,
I see
I
how
think,
it works.
I think it's interesting. The balance of power in such a director relationship must be complicated because in many ways it is Fawcett calling the shots, it feels like, doing the
Yeah, I
beginning
guess.
and the end. Rick is kind of coming in to connect the dots.
Yeah, I mean, he did his. There's like we'll get to it, but there's like some stuff that's like, yep, that's Rick for sure.
I think they've definitely given him the middle because it is so action-packed, and he obviously is an action director.
True. But I guess I was just expecting, always a challenging himself, giving us new visuals, creative ways of shooting things, and it was just kind of like standard.
Okay.
All right, we'll get into it.
All right.
All right. So there was a little previously on Xena.
There was a lot of previously on Xena.
Because for sure, like if you were just tuning in, this was your catch up. And then when we're done with the previously, which is like a rundown of what happened last week, a lot of it was like, what's a Grindl? We cut to Gabs, Brunhilde, and Beowulf walking through the forest. There's a lot of toppled trees. Beowulf says, we're deep in Grindl territory.
Country.
What?
I don't know. Deep in Grindel territory.
Yeah.
Just feels so. They're on the hunt.
Yeah, he's the only one like who's just properly dressed here in this snowy forest. It's really kind of shocking to see these two women next to him when you like actually take a step back and just like notice how scantily clad they are in their underneath their little coats.
Cold.
Brunhilde says the chances of finding Xena are getting less and less because they're tracking Xena, right?
Yeah.
So Gabs is the pointer dog here. She's she's doing a really good job, right, guys?
I really like the dynamic where you have Beowulf and Brunhilde as these two skeptics, and Gabs being like, "No, she's alive. We're gonna find her."
Well, Brunhilde has like
An
her own agenda where she's like,
they both do, don't they?
I don't know. It's just she comes off so like thirsty about it, and like Beowulf is at least kind of like keeping his chill. She's all like, yeah, the chance of finding her less and less. I'm totally gonna be your new Xena now, yes. She's like, don't get your hopes up.
No.
And Gab says, I'm not relying on hope.
Bless.
I believe she says, "I'm not relying on hope."
Yes,
She really
surely.
lets us know that she knows that is a word she should not be saying.
She says Xena's tough to kill, and it's like, that's true.
It's only happened thrice
yeah,
times
exactly.
or whatever. It's just like,
Pretty difficult.
Which makes it sound like it's actually
how
kind of
many we
easy.
actually said before, I know.
Which doesn't stay dead.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I guess put a pin in it.
funny.
Shit.
making jokes. Just making some jokes here.
Season 6 comedy. Beowulf spots some blood on a tree trunk, and it's Xena's blood. Apparently, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like, they don't really know.
Does Grindel bleed red blood?
I guess he's a tree.
Yeah, it seems like it mostly bleeds like sawdust. That's what my understanding.
All right, I'm just throwing it out there already. Is Grindel the son, or is it both of them? What is a Grindel?
I think Grindel's the son now. We got all of our pronouns wrong last week.
It's not. It was Xena. Xena kept talking. She
know
thought
that
that's
yet.
what
That's
it
true,
was.
but we started. Oh, right, we were referring to Grindel as it,
Which
in order
they
to
refer
correct.
to. Yeah, because that's what
Actually.
people refer. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to actually.
Okay, yes.
But I just want to say that, well, Grindel is a character from,
Grendel is from Beowulf.
yes, okay, and stalks the land or
The
something.
land, Rothengar,
Lives in a cave.
something
I don't know.
something
Yeah, sure.
Anglo-Saxon.
That
Probably
sounds-
talked about it
Cave
already.
sounds correct.
No, but there was a note on Whoosh that, like, everybody got this confused. And, like...
It was
'cause-
purposeful.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Because so in the first episode, and like how we usually, when we go through an episode, we kind of talk about it as if we're only talking about the information that we've been given so far.
Right, yes.
So, like, in this episode, you don't even understand that, like, that is a separate monster until after it's dead.
But, like,
Yeah.
nobody, like, the town's village never
And I
knew.
think that's true to the source material.
Right.
They kill Grendel and then realize there's an even bigger monster who's now mad at them.
But
So-
they only, the town's and villages have only been terrorized by like what they think is one monster, but it's really both of them.
No, I think it's just Grindl, the little one.
What does she do?
He's
I
in
think she's
his,
just in the cave.
teenage hell-raising years. Mom's at home baking
Yeah.
pies.
Yeah. The point on Whoosh was that everyone kept calling Grindl, Brunhilde and Grindl as the same thing because their names are similar. So you're like, something happened there, but like, no.
Did she name it?
I don't know.
She's like, this little baby Grindel.
I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, I just found that really confusing because I mean, I'm assuming Brunhilde goes around getting food as well, but she doesn't ever kill people. All those soldiers who go off to kill her son, she never. I didn't know who was
like
the
stuck
Grindel.
in there, locked in.
We
for
don't.
a while.
Yeah, we don't exactly understand. We see that the son, who I guess
Oh my
we'll
God,
call Grindel,
wait,
is
was
wearing the ring.
Oh,
Which means Grindel, the son, has forsaken love. His mother has not.
but she was wearing the ring.
No,
Original.
only in the flashback.
Oh my God!
Once she's trapped in the mind, she presumably can't use the ring. Its power will not work for her because she has not forsaken
she
love.
Takes it
Right.
from Xena. Yeah.
This plot is very confusing. It's funny, we have 3 episodes to try to get it straight, and if anything, we're even more confused.
Wait. Okay. Now, I am literally more confused right now. Wait a second. So how did
But we haven't seen.
how did he
yet.
get out? How did they get out?
We don't exactly know, but I think the assumption would be that the baby, Grindel, forsook. Is that the past tense for forsake? Forsook love.
Took the ring and
Took
busted
the ring
out.
and busted out.
Well, what if he was born without knowing love or having
That's
love?
sad
That's
because
why
his
the lock
mother
is
is
broken,
right
and
there.
Beowulf had the lock, and Xena's like, "Oh shit, the lock
Right,
that I
okay.
was."
I
left
do
the
have a lot of
monsters in."
questions though about what baby Grindel and his mother's relationship is. Why is this a loveless child? That's sad.
Yeah, I mean, I think she put it on him early to get him busted out.
Whoa,
Interesting
that's
backstory.
That's dark. You think she raised this baby to have no love in his heart so
Yeah.
that he could use the ring to free them? Wow. I want the fanfic about this. That's messed up. That is some messed up monster shenanigans.
I mean, she clearly loved him though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She avenges his death.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you
I
for
know,
answering
we
that.
leapt so far ahead.
Or did we? Question mark.
So anyway,
Yes.
we'll get our pronouns right this week.
Yes, we will for sure. So Beowulf, finds the blood on the tree, and he's like, "It's Xena's blood," and he's like, "This is the spot where it ended." I don't know how he can tell that.
He's
Well, there's no footprints or something anymore.
that's a good point.
Okay, so Gabs looks at it differently. She's like, "It's where Xena got away," which I loved because that's like TV tracking where like you can look at a twig and be like, aha, no, that was like a specific pivot to the right. She got away.
She's just accentuating the positive.
And she's like, hey, what happened not long ago? And then she spots Xena's little arm situation.
That was good. I liked this.
What is that? The arm
Arm guard.
The arm guard. Yes, yes.
I like that.
So when she spots it, she's like, Xena's definitely alive, you guys.
Because her stuff is missing.
Her stuff is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did that make you think of that it's like a little breadcrumbs, like from...
It's a little bit.
what was that one? Where the kids leave the
Hansel
breadcrumbs?
and
Yes,
Gretel?
yes. Yes.
You think she's left it there on purpose?
I don't know. It certainly leads Gabs to her.
She technically doesn't know.
But she was very happy to see it, being like, oh my God, you found it.
True. You're right.
So Gabs is like, all right, guys, split up. We're going to cover more ground, and we're going to find Xena.
Yes.
Brunhilde eye rolls real hard at that because, again, she just wants Gabs to declare Xena dead so that she could be her new Xena.
And also she doesn't want to be separated from Gabs.
Yeah.
True.
She's so good.
So now that Gabs is alone, we get this, like, I thought really stressful sequence where Gabs is kind of wandering around holding this wrist guard, like, looking for Xena, and we get this, like, overhead crane shot of her wandering, and I was super convinced Grendel was just gonna, like, bound out of the trees and get her.
Xena's in the tree.
Xena's in a tree. Wasn't it like a 180 like camera rotation kind of like a cool... Yeah, that was cool, Rick.
It was cool. I think Rick was doing this on purpose, building a little bit of suspense.
Yeah.
And then something leaps out at Gabs, but it ain't a monster.
Well, she's like behind the tree, and she's like Xena, because like there's some kind of something when she's looking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
she senses the presence
in the distance.
Yeah.
But we're
Yeah,
like
and
led
you can
to kind of
you can
follow
hear the
her
monster
gaze that way. Yeah, and you can
The monster's like walking around, you know, kind of like the Joss Whedon Arg like thingy.
but you don't see it.
Yeah,
No, but it's like a
quite
special
yet.
like clearing
Yeah.
where like clearly that's where the monster is.
You know who you do see?
Xena! She grabs her like mouse.
Yeah, it's great.
So she doesn't scream and tip off the monster.
Exactly. It's so good.
Ooh, I love Xena's look. I love that
Yes.
she has no breastplate, that she's all
Nothing.
bloody.
Good.
The hair.
The hair's all like I love her hair. This episode's all matted and like kind of sweaty.
Yeah, but
That's
in a
what's nice
good
about a
way.
middle chapter is you get all the sweatiness continuity.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
they are next to the tree hiding, and there's a lot of good like Xena arm on Gabs watching the monster creep by silently
Yeah.
for a while.
So
Good.
what do you guys think of Grindel's little beard?
I know, this is when I first noticed it. And of course it's helpful because when you meet Brunhilde,
She doesn't have a
she
little
doesn't have a
beard?
little beard. So that's literally the one difference in their monster suit between the two characters.
She braided for him?
I hope so. She loves him. But he does not love her. It's so sad. What is this tragedy?
I don't know. Beowulf calls Gabs' name, and I think there's like a shot of Grindel being like, what? And like, you know, following Xena and Gabs, guys.
Yes.
I think we're alone now.
Oh my god.
So they hug.
Yeah, I love just the exploding into hugging.
Yes.
From like being really quiet to suddenly being like, ah!
I know. We
Time
can
for
have
snuggles.
emotions. Yes.
And the music swells.
Of course.
The music swells. It swells. Like, have you ever heard music swell? That is
This is it. Yeah.
That's very romantic.
It is.
So what happens here? There's a massive like full body hug, like a smush.
Real big smush. Some little back pats. Pat.
There's a line from Gabs, "Don't ever leave me again."
Sure.
Pins.
Doesn't say anything.
Yes, very noticeable that Xena says nothing. She's like, I will make no promises.
She's like, we're in season 6,
let,
girl.
let it be known that I have not agreed to this. I mean, in this episode alone, she
Yeah.
leaves her like at least twice more. So,
Yeah, jokes. We're all right.
but
over
she
here.
hugs her really tight. And
Yeah,
Yes.
it's so nice.
shuts her eyes,
And
and
this
it
is-
is a really meaningful.
It's so nice. They're just very full of emotion. They haven't seen each other in months. Ostensibly, it took her
That's
weeks
really
Yeah.
true.
to get to wherever they are, the Eastern Bog area of
It's
Scandinavia.
it's really the East Wind Bog.
East Wind Bog.
East Wind.
East Wind.
Yeah.
It's not the Eastern Bog.
No.
Okay.
It's East Wind.
Whatever.
Like AON Bog.
I'm so
Oh, okay, good.
confused.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just the Hulu
subtitles are messed up.
subtitles. Yeah, they're
Got it.
sometimes
Well,
funky.
I love everything about this scene. It's very romantic. You got the music, you got the looks, you got the hugging, you got the physicality, and then you get this great part where when the hugging is over, Gabs kind of then like takes Xena by both arms and gives her a once over and is like, "Look at you," because she's fucked up.
Yeah.
And Xena's like, "Yeah, I know. Don't fuss."
Oh God.
Don't fuss.
Yeah, because
Shut up.
I mean, Gabs immediately starts fussing. She's
Yeah.
like looking at her back,
course
trying to
she
get
does.
shit for Xena's wounds.
Xena looks really fucked up.
And can I say, as we have been established as, you know, loving a good bit of, like, hurt comfort, that, like, I feel deprived that this didn't happen more on the show.
I agree.
Like, Gab's
Yeah.
just doing some, like, wound tending.
Yeah.
Which should have been, like, every episode
I
with the way
agree.
they are.
Yeah.
But that would get repetitive and then not feel special. So, on one hand, perhaps it's good the way it is.
Well, I just wanted Xena to bleed more. That's
But
basically what I'm
it's
saying.
good. It's just such a nice little moment, and it's nice to have that kind of touch.
Yeah.
I agree. Also nice to have because
And
I think
touch.
because it's a trilogy. I feel like
Yeah.
you have more time for
Yeah.
moments like this.
Oh my God, the randomest, like, most ridiculous cute moment when she gives her the cuff and, like,
Yeah.
Xena's so pleased.
Yeah,
She's
that
like,
she
oh,
thinks
great.
Yeah.
She thought she had to buy new ones.
Yes, exactly.
So this is funny. The other two find them and run up and are like, Gabrielle, are you okay?
Oh my god.
Why wouldn't she be?
These two, man, I can't with them.
Maybe they only just noticed that she hasn't been buttoning her coat and she might be really, like, have total body frostbite at this point.
The abs! Not the abs!
Well, Wolf is like, you look awful to Xena.
Yeah, he's like, here's some water to clean yourself up.
So then we get Brunhilde meeting Xena for the first time.
Yeah, she starts fangirling. I did like that.
She should. She is number one Xena fangirl.
And then Xena's like, if I knew I had a fan coming, I would have combed my hair.
Chuckle, chuckle.
Chuckle, chuckle, Lucy at every con. She brushes her hair, we hope.
What? I think she brushes her hair.
Does, yeah.
I really like that
it's full
her...
of fangirls.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that, and I got it.
Because fangirl meta joke.
Yeah, I got it.
And Gabs is like really cute because this is where she's like rifling through the stuff like in her bag.
Oh my God, yes.
And she kind of like just like they do a little smirky smirk
Yes.
between each other.
Yes.
It was really, really cute.
She
So
really
many
liked
looks
that
in
gag about the hair.
Yeah.
She thought that was funny.
This is when she gets the like gauze stuff and starts bandaging her thigh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good shot.
I love also that Xena winces. That's great.
Yeah. I love it when Xena's not superhuman.
Well, it's painful. It's bad. Lets us know. It's good. It's also sexy.
Also, yeah, tying off leg wounds, very sexy.
Carry on.
So yeah, Brunhilde, in her fangirling, kind of, gives us some more character information about herself, how she is very explicitly a dark Xena fangirl.
Yeah, she's a super fan.
She has the utmost respect for Xena and her philosophy.
Yeah.
I was like, did Dark Xena really have a philosophy?
Well,
I guess nihilism. I'm a big fan of your nihilism, Xena.
Yeah, well, I mean, she explained it was like to live for battle and die with valor and just be a warrior, be into that shit.
Yeah, she's very into everything Xena said to Odin last episode, which, as we talked about, just fucked up all of like Norse culture.
Yes, exactly.
It became battle crazed because of Xena.
Yep.
Xena did it first.
She did.
So this is fun because it's sort of like the voice of old Xena talking to new Xena.
Yeah. This is there were some really good lines here. She's like, I've gotten a lot smarter since then. I've learned to respect life, love, and peace.
Why? What happened?
Lots of reasons. Stares eyeballs at Gabs.
She has so many great line deliveries, Brunhilde. Like, just the way,
Oh my god.
why? What happened? Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you? Like,
Yeah.
but yes, and Xena says lots of reasons, and then there's another very loaded look between Gabs and Xena. Very good staring.
Yeah, this one reminded me a little bit of Kindred Spirits when, the little Amazons are asking them questions and they share that intimate little look.
Yeah.
Like it's like an in-joke. I really like
Yeah, there's a lot of this here. Yeah, you're right.
This was intimate in-joke, ha ha ha, our relationship kind of a look.
Ha ha ha.
That is how I would describe it.
That's like you talk to the network. Like, ha ha ha, we've been gay this whole time.
This episode is so... oh my god. Well, obviously this trilogy is a major fan favorite for a lot of the overt romanticism, like, between Xena and Gabs, but then, like, the stuff with Brunhilde and Gabs isn't even subtext.
No,
which
that's
is kind
like
of what's amazing about it, so it just lends everything else to being also text, which it is, and very clearly is.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just, like, there's just a lot of, like, real overt...
I mean, this is the most overt
more
situation.
so than I feel like the show has
Najara
done.
was nowhere near this overt.
No.
Yeah, no. That was, she was like full of subtext. It was there.
Najara, you can make a case that was, that wasn't about love. That was about her wanting her to be like her acolyte.
Her best friend.
Her like weird support. She had all those weird supporters around
it's
her.
all like kind of between, it's like, later we'll get to it, but it's like all between like Brunhilde and Odin. Like they're just like talking about
how she's in love with Gabs.
Yeah, it was. I thought that was like the most overt like ever. Yeah. Like
anyway, it's great.
And it's funny, like, I mean, I twitch a little bit every time someone says forsaken love, because it's just such an awkward phrase, but at the same time, I do appreciate the fact that it's love. Yeah. Like, you just have love as a force in the story being discussed finally, not friendship.
Okay. Beowulf comes back, and he's like, guess what, guys? Grindl is not in this scene. So Xena's like, great, she's somewhere else. Like, we don't have to worry about her for now. I guess apparently also Grindl has cut off their path of retreat.
Oh, I liked, this Brunhilde says this,
Yeah.
and it's clearly just meant to impress Xena. Like, look how well I understand what's going on. And Xena kind of looks at her and is like, yes, you do.
I do kind of like that, I mean, she's been going crazy about Gabs here, but like when she does meet Xena, she still fangirls super a lot. It's not like immediate hatred. Like, she is still trying to like impress her.
I know, and it makes it a little sad that later Xena's like, I hate this bitch. Keeps trying to impress me, but then also loves Gabs. The worst.
Gabs wants to get Xena out of there, but Xena's like, no way. Grindl and I have a date with destiny.
Ooh, the big D.
That's the line.
Yeah, not my favorite line, admittedly.
I like how Xena's like, okay, I know I can't make you leave, Gabs, but you other two, you guys gotta get out of here.
Yeah, this time she respects that don't leave me again. She's listening.
I like that she's literally like, I can't make her leave.
I can't make her go, but you two I can make go. And they're like...
That's why now she needs to resort to trickery.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I like that she says, you guys need to go and live to fight another day, which is the line that Brunhilde used in part 1 to the soldiers.
Oh, that's a great parallel.
So she has
really does value life, love.
She has gotten smarter, as she said. So,
it's nice to see that so explicitly in action.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Don't die for no reason.
Yeah. So she's like, this is my battle, and Gab's is like, our battle.
That's nice.
These two jokers, after being told that Gabrielle is going on, are like, well, we can't leave Gabrielle.
I can't, like, that's such a weird, like, Xena should be like, what the fuck is happening here? When they're both like, I won't leave Gabrielle, neither will I.
Yeah, Xena looks at them both and is like, okay, I guess we're in this together.
Well, you gotta have your band of people, like, I
feel like Xena's a little bit like, no one's coming along because they can't leave me. All right.
I like that her mouth said that, these like believable things, but her face is like, this is so strange. I hate this.
Well, I think she's mostly like, really this group, this gang is just Gabrielle and all the people who love Gabrielle like hanging out. This is like the most awkward quadrilateral like happening, and Xena sees it.
And it's just like, she was just talking about like this is her own mission and stuff. So it's, she wants this to just be her fixing this thing that she did without these bozos.
Also, Gabs has no problem with these two bozos being like, we will face death for you, Gabrielle. She's like, that's nice. Thanks, guys.
She's like, that's normal. Totally normal.
I mean, this is what I do for Xena every day.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have double the attention on me.
Yeah. And then Grindl growls, and Grindl's like, guys, I want to be in the scene. And that's where you get the opening credits. Mm-hmm. Once we're back from commercial, we go into Grindl's lair.
I liked this whole sequence. I like this set.
It's fun.
Yeah.
We've had mines before, but we've never had a monster in mines.
Torches, torchlight.
This
creepy.
was cool. Yeah.
Did you love my like really astute observation right there? Torches, torchlight, creepy.
It's good.
It is. It's really atmospheric, and I like it a lot.
And there's some good like strings music here that I thought was really creepy and kind of creature featurey. This is the most, I think, creature feature that this trilogy gets. This I thought, like, just the fact that they're fighting this giant 10-foot monster in these really close tunnels. So, like, when that thing waves its arms around, you're just like, oh, man, they have nowhere to go.
Xena has a plan for this creature. It's her fave. Lure it into the mine and throw rocks on it.
It's true. It works every time.
Yeah. If only this were Callisto.
As they discuss the plan for the monster, the group notices that Xena is using feminine pronouns to discuss
they're like, why are you doing that?
And they're like, that's kind of weird. What's up with that? And
what is this Grindl?
Yeah. You know her.
And Xena goes into a flashback to explain.
This is the only flashback this episode, I think.
This was really cool. The way that they did it, I thought, was really, really cool. It's like this smoke flash and a drums transition. Ooh. The way that it was like framed, you see evil Xena Valkyrie, but it's kind of the same medium shot as actual Xena. So it was like as if it's like a snap, and it's you snap between.
I got my hat on now.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, it was really cool.
Nice.
So I mean, these are images we've seen before. Some of them, Xena
she's making
forging
the ring,
the one ring to rule them all. But then the sequence continues in a way that we haven't seen before, and I thought this was like a hilarious little touch that you see her holding up the ring, being like, "Yeah, I made this ring," and then Brunhilde arrows it out of her hand.
2 seconds later.
2 seconds later.
Yeah. She threatens to put the ring on. And Xena says, I've thrashed you before, Grunhilde. I can do it again.
I also love the way Xena reminds us of the rules, the aforementioned forsaking of love.
This is new rules.
Is when I get confused.
So many rules.
And I think that I'm okay in the sense that, like, she melted down the Rheingold into a ring.
Right.
And, like, so when they're talking about the Rheingold rules, they just start replacing the word Rheingold with ring, but it sounds like that in the runes it was already like written that like stuff about wearing a ring was going on.
It seems like that's the only way to use it.
That was Xena's idea, so maybe it was in the
you could have made it into
you're supposed to turn it into a ring,
yeah,
or
did
you could have made it
like a little hat?
No, you could make it into a little earring, a cup.
Oh, okay.
A little, a tiny little bracelet.
Like, what's different about like holding a chunk of it in your hand as opposed to like
because it has to be always
on
on you. Like you can't.
So who came up with it? Was it the runes or was it Xena?
Xena. Let's just give all the credit always to Xena.
So when they say like it's written in the runes that the ring, la la la, they just are saying it.
Because right now it literally is a ring, yes.
Not the Rheingold.
Right.
Sure, it doesn't really matter.
It's obviously, it's a great visual for I am using this thing right now.
Right,
I'm channeling its power.
If it's like a thing that you always have to have on you, like that's the only logical thing is to put it into a ring.
Okay, good to know for whenever we ourselves need to steal some enchanted gold.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, the rules here are confusing because, as we've said, you have to have forsaken love, otherwise it will destroy the thing you value most.
Which is definitely not something that was said in the first one.
Yes, it was.
It said you have to... Basically, it said something happens to you if you have not forsaken love.
I thought it destroyed the thing you loved.
Did they really say that in that?
I
feel like because I was mad because this one started coming up with new rules, and I mean
there are some new rules.
I hate new rules that are thrown at you that you've never heard before. It wasn't set up. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
They're in the fine print, as they literally joke about.
Yeah,
the fine print of the runes, the tiny little runes at the bottom, say that. Like, even someone who hasn't forsaken love can use the power of the Rheingold. It will give them a surge of godlike strength for 45 seconds, no more, no less. And then its destructive power will kick in.
Yes.
And you'll be screwed.
Right.
You won't be able to use the power of the ring anymore.
Yeah. And no one who actually did this used the power of the ring effectively at all.
What did you want them to do?
To
just
do
finish.
Stuff.
achieve their goals.
I mean, this
conquer
ring
the world.
Yeah, in 45 seconds. Yeah.
It's true. It is supposed to be all powerful.
You would think that immediately she would just kill Xena with it.
That's true.
And she did not.
Well, that's how much of a badass Xena is. As Gabs would point out if she were listening to the story, that even a Valkyrie with the ring on can't defeat Xena.
Thrash
So why did Xena need the ring in the first place?
Why did she need the Ixion stone?
She didn't know what was going to happen, the Ixion stone. I think she would have regretted it.
I don't know.
She definitely regrets having made this ring.
She was like, her hair looked real bad then, too. You couldn't tell the difference between centaur hair and her hair.
Oh, dear. Katie, we got to talk about Brunhilde and how she says lines.
Oh, I mean...
This is your favorite thing.
I'm sorry.
You do a mean Brunhilde impression.
What? Do we like the actress? She's fine.
She's fine.
She's a great New Zealand lady for sure. She has a very thick accent that is trying to be not an accent, and it's not working. And it especially isn't working when she's trying to talk about the runes. And I have a tendency to just do an impression of it. Oh, you dropped yourself over there?
Sorry, that was a big mic hit.
No. I don't even know what the whole line is. I only know the beginning part.
What's the beginning part?
I just like the part where she's like, the runes also say I don't really know what's going on there. I just don't know it. I just don't know.
She sounds like a mobster lady.
Funny, and it's no disrespect. It really isn't. It's just a funny little accent thing that's happening.
I mean, it's not easy to deliver all of these expository lines about the ring, in part because we really don't understand all of this
that's
fine
part
print.
of what's funny about that like accent drop moment. It's just that like they're going back and forth with these rules that like make no
runes
sense.
Say
like,
this. They also say this.
Like the
yes,
runes, but the runes also say. Like that's what's going on. Like it's just really funny.
It was
it's
a
funny,
specific choice,
all.
and it was hilarious.
Oh well, she's gonna be a tree person soon.
Yeah,
so
she puts on the ring.
She puts on the ring.
And this is a sacrifice.
Yeah.
I like that it's setting it up, that actually both people you see wearing the ring this episode are wearing it as a, sort of sacrificing themselves.
Right.
For
it's
a
kind
higher
of like
purpose.
a last resort. I don't know. I think that they expect to get the job done in those 45 seconds. Like, I really think that she's, like, going to put this ring on and take care of Xena, bring honor back to the Valkyries.
Could you then take
it off?
And you'd be fine?
And
that seems like a really big loophole in your ring lore that you can use this all-powerful object for 45 seconds with no consequences.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is where you start getting into, like, Tolkien territory, right? Because, like, if he puts on the ring, even Frodo carrying the ring starts affecting him.
That's
even
true.
When he's
Over
not
time,
wearing it.
he's particularly resilient. Other people obviously are corrupted much faster.
Right.
Frodo, don't wear the ring. Remember that fun song? Remember Play the Concords? New Zealand.
So
anyway.
I thought that her idea here was that, yes, she would put on the ring, take care of Xena, take it off, and return it to the Rhine Maidens.
Maybe you can't just take it off.
But it wasn't even like, oh, I'm into this. Like, it was more like she just didn't have time to do anything. Like, it started doing because she didn't forsake the love.
It is a lot like Tolkien's ring and Xena, because for both Brunhilde and then later for Xena, like, putting on the ring kind of slowly erases their sense of self. I mean, in different ways, but that's very much what the ring ends up doing in Tolkien.
I thought that Xena's, like, physicality later, like, when she's... she has the ring and everyone's like towards the end of this episode where she's like she got the ring and everyone's like give me the ring, and she would use like her arm kind of like protectively, kind of like a Smeagol or like a
it's ours.
Bilbo. Yeah.
I can't
and
do
even
a
Frodo,
good Gollum.
like yeah. But like it's like why do they want my ring? Like it was there.
Yeah, it's definitely there. Xena did it first. Question mark.
Like, in a visual on screen?
Yes.
So this is a fun fight for the 45 seconds that it lasts. I liked all the sparks flying. This is when I was like, Rick's here.
Right, Rick's here. The sparks that you last probably saw in Sacrifice 2.
I know, I thought of those.
Yes.
I mean, that was
He
when
loves
Rick
those sparks.
like established himself as the premier slow-mo guy.
Yeah.
Those flying sparks.
My note here is like, oh, it looks like a 90s music video. And then it's like, oh, it kind of looks like Alien 3.
Oh, yeah. It does look like Alien 3. Good point. I liked all the Zoe cartwheels. This is a move they've really grown to love. And it's true that Zoe does it super well. There's lots of spinning hair.
And the most ever Xena screeching, ever.
She's super vocal. And I noticed when she put the ring on, she also got really vocal.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a trademark of sort of, evil
Xena.
Powerful,
exactly.
evil. not exactly evil at the end, but
well,
Xena,
I mean, with the ring,
not
with
herself.
power,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, oh my god, this screech is lasting like 10 seconds. It's so long.
I also really like that stunt when Xena tries to do like a jump kick at Brunhilde and she like stops it, just kicks her, and it's like, no, jump kick has failed.
Well, she's so powerful.
Yeah. Grindl then turns into a monster.
Right. She did not take it off nor defeat Xena in 45 seconds.
Whoops.
And she became monster.
I like the shot, which is clearly from like a werewolf transformation, where her fingers lengthen around the ring. That was fun.
Yeah. And Xena's like really horrified, but then she's like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, I like the face journey Xena took here, where at first she's really freaked out, then she's like, oh my god, this is hilarious.
It's a whole new you, Brunhilde.
Right. She realizes that the thing Brunhilde prizes most is her humanity and her beauty. So now they're both gone.
Which, again, I was like, I didn't see that at all in
I know,
Brunhilde's
it's
characteristics. Humanity, maybe, but, like, beauty,
especially because it seemed like the
stretch.
thing she prizes the most is, like, being a Valkyrie and,
like a real, true,
and she's already
honorable-
lost that.
Yes, exactly.
So maybe she actually had forsaken love and should have been able to effectively use the ring. Anyway, Xena cuts off her hand, or her finger, right?
Right,
Lops off that finger.
And she picks up her necklace, which is the lock that she's... I didn't see that at all.
She used it in the lock. I was confused by
why
why
the necklace the one with the ravens? 'Cause I didn't see that
No, it
on
seemed like they were two separate pieces. The raven,
chain?
Yeah, and then the
Okay,
chain.
all right.
I don't know why the episode felt the need to explain where the chain came from, but it takes a lot of trouble to tell us that's in fact what that was. So then Xena puts on the ring, and that's the end of the flashback.
And no hesitation after
just
seeing
like,
this woman
yoink.
turn into a tree.
Yeah, she
like, all
she
right,
knows she got no
fine.
love in her system.
Okay, things to note. I mean, chopping off the finger was, like, also from Lord of the Rings.
True.
Yes.
Several times that happens. In Lord of the Rings.
I thought this was a really interesting thing that Brunhilde put on the ring on her literal ring finger, like her wedding ring finger, and Xena puts it on her fuck you finger.
Oh, that's amazing! I love that so much. I also love, of course, that Xena kind of does like an orgasm face.
Yeah.
She becomes all powerful.
Yeah, I liked it.
Absolutely.
So now that there's like, I think, is it a voiceover? You get this like odd explanation that Xena didn't kill her because that actually, was the kinder option. And that instead she decides to lock her up as a way of like forcing her to just like suffer with her own ugliness
Right.
Yeah.
forever.
And she wanted to torture her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty mean.
And she stole some chains from Odin, and that's how she
pretty mean.
locked her up.
Yeah, it's elaborate. She has this elaborate chain her, as you recall, in a mine under a bog.
Bog house.
Yeah, it's
Under a
just
bog.
so complicated
No,
where
it's
this
not under a
cage
bog.
is.
Yeah, so she's gonna be fugly forever. Oh no!
But then, as we saw at the beginning of the Rheingold, Grunhilde, at the last second, steals the ring from Xena.
Yeah. Which, nice. Well
So
done.
she has the ring,
Yeah, she,
Yeah,
the
then
ring
she
is
just
in there.
can't
She
use
can't
it.
use
It's
but she
useless to
does.
her.
Well, okay, all right. Oh, but Xena assumes that after 35
Yes.
years, that she had learned to forsake love,
Yes.
and that's how she busts out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aha!
That's
this is where the
Xena's
confusion
assumption.
is.
Yeah.
This is where
Xena-
Because
That's
what
assumption.
other explanation could there be
Right.
for her
Not
out,
her-
seemingly her out wearing the ring?
Right, not her raising her son to not feel any love.
Which is that would be your first thought as to what had happened. So then we get a really fun monster movie shot of Grindel in the tunnel. You get the shadow falling over the wall, like full on. You're like, ooh, rubber monster suit.
I don't know. I have a note that's just like, you're ready, like that song, you're ready for this, and then spirit fingers. Does that make any sense to you guys?
Well, he did.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely-
spirit fingers.
He
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He like spreads his arms and is like,
They're very, very wide.
Okay.
And like, yeah, the branches are kind of going like,
And I think that was about like he literally can like block the entire tunnel with
Yeah.
his
crazy.
body.
This
He
guy's
has
huge.
he has Michael Phelps arms.
Yeah, exactly.
yes.
So then like Xena's trying to like
She has like a
Whip-
thing of fire. What is it called? A torch.
a torch. She's like whipping that torch around trying to like bait
him in there. Or it, or
It.
her, whatever. They think this is Brunhilde.
They do think it's a her.
So she's like, she's working it, and the monster is following. Yep. And then you kind of get the shot of like the rest of the team. They're perched up on top of this like whatever mine beam or whatever. And so the monster's supposed to get into position, and then they're gonna throw rocks on it. He's like, huh?
Yeah.
This is suspicious.
Yeah. This monster is not so dumb, even though his head is tiny.
Well, I mean, Xena was really like saying stuff and looking up at
Yeah,
them. She's
yeah,
not
they're
really like
not
pretending
playing
that.
it cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She assumes he's dumber than he looks or whatever. And this monster's like, fuck that, and kind of scampers away in this hilarious shot.
And then Xena goes after it, and Gabs goes after Xena.
Oh, surprise.
She's so pissed. She's like, I thought I told you not to come in here.
Cap says, I never listen.
And Xena's like, fair.
So then this is my favorite part of the sequence, which is the fight between all of our characters and the monster in these like close confines of this tunnel, because it's just like a ping pong machine. Everyone goes flying. And then they get up and go flying again.
The four of them are standing there talking, and Grindel busts in on them like as if he's like a bowling ball in their pins.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hilarious. They all attack Grindel individually, which I thought was really
that's
stupid.
true. That's a really good point. I mean, we'll eventually see that Grindel is killed by some teamwork.
Yeah.
And they do not do that here.
They do not.
But I do love that shot of Gabs like flipping her sigh, getting ready for battle. Yeah. It was a long shot. Like, she takes her time doing that, which she really shouldn't be because there's monster arms everywhere.
I know. He throws Brunhilde against like a support beam, so it cracks and like the whole place is in danger of collapsing.
And Xena helps it along because, of course,
chakram beam.
Chakram beam. Her favorite
Rocks
move.
fall. Yeah. And
so this is her disobeying her promise to Gabs, and she leaves her via rock wall falling and separating her from the rest of the team.
Get a lot of good yelling.
So much
Xena
yelling.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
That was my note. Like, the specifics of the fight have been lost in my notes because it's just like, Gabs yelling Xena a lot. Heart. Heart.
I mean, that's more important than who hit who when.
Right.
So then we have Xena separated from her chakram now. She like doesn't pick it up. She doesn't have time, I guess. She's beat up on by this monster.
It's behind Grindel. So
she can't get it.
Yeah.
I liked this whole sequence where she leads the monster away. There's a particular shot set up here where Rick has the camera like almost on the floor, and then Grindel throws Xena like towards the camera, and she like falls really hard, literally right in front of us on the ground.
Oh yeah. Grindel throws her around a lot.
Yeah, this is sort of a repeat in some ways of the fight at the end of the Rheingold.
Right.
You even get the shot where like Grindel like picks her up again. Except this time Grindel's just trying to like squeeze her.
Yeah.
Hug her to death.
Like how he never got hugs.
That's true. It really is like Baby Destroyer part 2. I mean, especially now that we know this is like an a son who does not love.
I mean, we don't know. This is our fanon. This is our fanon.
But this definitely feels very similar thematically to Baby Destroyer.
I feel sad. So Gabs is like hardcore search and rescue mode here.
Yeah, this is great.
She just jumps in there and like throws away like these giant boulders to, climb in and rescue Xena. It's like super impressive.
And then I love that as soon as she gets a hole big enough for her to wriggle through, she's
Slides
just
on through.
gone. The others are sort of like, wait, we're still working. She's like, no, bye.
Oh my God. Brunhilde, again, watch her in these situations where Gabs runs off to Xena. She literally does like an, she's so mad. Gabs finds the chakram and she's like freaking out because
I love this. Yeah, well, first she like does this like full-throated Xena scream when she's like coming through the opening, and then when she finds the chakram, she does just a like soft breathing Xena
pins.
I like it. It's good. Dramatic.
So meanwhile, Xena's being hugged to death, and not by Gabs.
Oh no!
Crap.
This is the second big hug she got. She was already kind of like busted from the Gabs hug. That's why this is hurting so much.
This one, one hug too many.
Yeah, you can hear like the crunchies.
I did not appreciate that. What happened to her bones and joints in this moment? Is it the tree? Was it the tree making crunchy sounds?
It was Xena. Yeah, it was Xena. And then suddenly you get this like POV shot of shaky cam, and then there's someone sprinting, and it's a Gabs.
It's a Gabs.
Little spider monkey Gabs.
Ooh. Yeah.
Just goes flying.
She leaps onto Grindel's back and just begins...
She climbs him like a tree, which she is a tree.
she begins stabbing Grindel, like, with the chakram. Like,
up there.
Oh my goodness.
This is some good shit.
This was graphic seeming.
It was
Good
graphic.
content.
It was feral. It was, like, really... I've never seen anything like this from Gabs before. It was really amazing.
Protect Xena.
Yeah.
Save Xena.
It also seems notable that she's
So romantic.
using the chakram
Tree
as a
monster.
weapon, not throwing
Yeah.
it, but we've never
Just-
seen her use
yeah.
the chakram
Right.
in any context. Yeah.
It's interesting to note that, you know, her hand is fine.
Wow.
What'd you hold
She,
in
kno-
the
she,
middle?
kno- she
Holding it.
knows it's sharp.
Yeah, but, like, so she already can hold it at
I
least
guess
without
so.
getting cut.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's, put a print in her.
But yeah, it was like, I don't know. This was such an effective thing. Like,
yeah,
and then
this is really powerful.
yeah, I mean, Grindel releases Xena, and she's just like kind of shocked about it.
yeah. And then Grindel throws Gabs off
Yeah,
his back.
and
She loses the chakram.
yeah, the chakram goes flying, and then you have this like hero shot of Xena catching it.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
hero shot. I
yeah.
like this. I think spatially, Rick does a really good job in this particular fight scene. You know where everybody is at every moment.
Yeah.
Because there's one time a cut to Xena who goes, Gabrielle, whispers Gabrielle. This is good. Like, you guys, this is good.
Yeah, this is good.
This is good. This is good.
Well, Xena, the hero, definitely murders Grindel
Yeah.
via like
More chakram stabs.
I mean, it's like a straight up chakram gut. Like she guts Grindel
Yeah.
with the chakram.
Yeah,
It's-
right down the chest.
It was pretty epic. I don't
It
know.
is.
I felt
You
real-
feel it.
Yeah, I felt sad.
Every time she kind of drives it in a little deeper, you kind of
Yeah.
cringe.
Ugh, yeah.
Yeah, they did a good
weird-
job.
I was expecting like, you know, the leaves you rake up and put in bags to come flying out.
That would have been cool.
So yeah.
Yeah,
killed.
so when the monster falls and dies, you do feel
I
something.
feel sad. I felt sad for the destroyer too. Like these, you know, they're terrible. They kill so many people, but wah.
Yeah, I mean, sympathy for the beast. I feel
Yeah.
like that's true when you read Beowulf, and yeah, it's always true. You feel something
Yeah.
when these monsters are killed.
And you think it's Brunhilde, and you think that Xena put her in this position, and now
Right.
she's been murdered.
Right. Xena immediately, I think, understands that this is not a victory. That
Yeah.
this is actually very, very sad and solemn as an occasion.
I mean, yeah, she's like literally says, "Forgive me, Brunhilde," and then Brunhilde and Beowulf run in with the Starbucks. Once,
Being like, Gabs, are you okay?
Yeah.
Gabs?
would you like a latte?
Excuse me, what about the part where Xena and Gabs are like hand on shoulders, like, you alright?
Yep,
yeah, I'm
yep.
alright. On like her shoulder and like neck area generally speaking.
Shoulder and neck area.
Hand on shoulder neck is what I wrote down. I don't know what that means.
Shoulder neck, duh.
I think it means right here.
Nobody can see that, but she's touching her shoulder neck, you guys.
So
Yeah.
then Xena does a little bit of very obvious detective work. She's like, okay, I take ring off finger. Wait a minute. Ring on finger. Finger here.
Oh no.
Oh, I didn't notice which finger Grindel chose to wear it
Oh,
on.
that's true. I didn't, but I assume it's the same one that Xena cut
Oh, they
off.
cut off.
Because Xena's really confused by
Yeah.
it still being present.
Yeah, so she's like, guys.
And everybody else looks like, what's up, Xena? You look unhappy. And she's just like, let's get out of here. Like, I'll explain
Oh
later.
my goodness. Yeah, so, I mean, now it's later and she's explaining this while they're walking in the forest.
She's like, guys, I was using feminine pronouns and that might have actually been wrong. I'm not sure.
Yeah. And then they hear a monster growl and she's like, that's the one that needs the feminine pronouns. So she's like, we gotta return this ring to the Ride Maidens. Stat. And then a raven flies in and starts spying.
I love how Brunhilde just gives this raven, like, such a look.
Yeah.
Like, it was really funny. It was definitely like, Dad, I'm busy.
We have a shot of Brunhilde finding her dead son.
This was sad.
Yeah, this was exactly like when Xena found Solon dead.
Oh my god,
God.
yeah. Exactly the same.
It was. She also furiously roared.
And waved her hands
Yeah,
around like
tree-
she was
tree
one of those
hands.
things at the used car lot. That's totally how Lucy Lawless played that scene. Just wave the arms all around.
She's like, Solon, no! Arms waving.
I'm pitching picturing it though.
Loving the maternal instincts humor. Now we can laugh about
It's
it.
funny. When can you laugh about anything? I say all the time. My note for that said big arms.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's very noticeable
Big arms.
that's how the grief is happening.
Oh.
I liked this little interlude where we go back to Valhalla.
Yeah, the Raven is reporting
Yeah.
on Brunhilde.
It lands on Odin's finger, and they both stare at this great fan art of Xena. Really pretty Valkyrie Xena fan art.
Was it Xena? I thought it was Grunhilde.
Oh, I totally thought it was Xena.
Was she blonde?
No, it's a Xena tapestry.
Ah, shit. Okay. All right.
She's the one different looking Valkyrie.
Okay.
Very easy to recognize.
I made her blonde. I don't know why.
Just one non-blonde.
I actually would have liked it if Odin was staring at Brunhilde.
Yeah, I thought that's what was happening because
Yeah.
she's like a monster.
I wanted more about Odin and Brunhilde's relation.
I know.
Is he the dad of Monster Baby?
Yeah, we said he was.
I mean, it would make sense as we know they were lovers.
Yeah.
But it's never said explicitly. He
I
doesn't seem
think it
that
was.
fussed about its death.
The monster?
Yeah, little Grindl.
No, but he has forsaken love now.
That's
so
true.
he doesn't
That's
feel
true. He doesn't care.
anything.
He doesn't give a
Yeah.
shit about anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
Also a
points.
tree.
Good points all around.
Yeah, he's also a tree.
Don't be prejudiced against tree people.
Well, I mean, I just feel like Odin would be like not caring about his tree son.
because he's
His tree son.
He's just a sad
Yeah.
tree
I don't
son.
know.
So our crew's on their way.
Oh, this is a good conversation, I thought, between Brunhilde and Gabrielle.
This is weird because they're all walking extremely close together, like the most close
Because
ever.
they're a love quadrilateral.
But they're still like definitely talking very loudly about Xena.
Look, this
like,
is
and she's
literally
right
the most
there.
awkward traveling party ever because everyone here is in love with Gabrielle.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So yeah, this is definitely a conversation between Brunhilde and Gabs, and she's like, well, if Xena is returning the Rheingold, then she's definitely not the Xena of the legends.
Yeah, she totally doesn't want to use the power of the ring, which is like crazy.
She's like, in battle, yeah, she's still Xena, but everywhere else, it's weird. Hashtag never meet your heroes.
Oh. But Gabs immediately begins to educate her. She says there's more to being a warrior than skill. There's fighting for what you believe in, for people that you love. And at this, Brunhilde's like, okay, hard eyes. You're
Yeah.
right, you raised some good points.
And Xena, again, who is right there and listened to this whole thing, she looks up and she's like, you know, the eyes got a little narrow. Like, what's going on here?
I know, which is too bad, because I feel like Xena should recognize how wonderful Gabs is being here, being her old Gabby self. And
I don't think she has problems with Gabs.
No, but it's really nice after, you know, we've just done the Gabrielle arc where she was worried she kind of didn't have this power anymore to, you know, tap into the good in people and sort of use words to change people's hearts rather than swords in people's hearts, skewered are. So I don't know. I'm actually really happy to see Gabs back as her old self. Like, actually, like, changing Brunhilde's mind about the world in just a few minutes of talking.
Yeah. Exactly,
She
exactly.
says it too, Brunhilde. She's like, before you, I never thought of warriors as having any love other than the love of battle. And then
Now
their
she's like,
reaction
but they can
shots.
have a love of blondes, too.
Because Gabs gives her a little shoulder pat.
Yes.
Yep, pat,
Xena
Notices that
Xena's
shit.
blood pressure rises so fast when she sees that shoulder pat. Because Xena's immediately like, I need someone to scout.
Like over there.
And that person just has to be Brunhilde, and she has to leave right now. And then I love when Brunhilde's like, all right. And she does this like super sarcastic, like, thank you.
Oh my god. And then it's the most perfect line delivery and acting ever when after Brunhilde leaves, Xena's just like, I don't like her.
She does seem kind of surprised that she doesn't like her.
Because this is her fangirl. Yeah.
Doesn't trust her.
Yeah, Xena doesn't trust her.
I mean, I love this line. She says, she believes in exactly what I used to believe in. I don't trust her. You're like,
Okay.
yeah, all right, that makes sense, girl. You wouldn't.
Yeah, sure, Xena. Sure, that's why you don't trust her. So Brunhilde is off on her scout, but she runs into Hugin and Munin.
One of them, or both of them.
They made it look like there were two.
But there's
it's
only
the same
one.
Remember, only one was cast for the role. It's like the Olsen twins playing one girl.
It's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because there's one bird playing
It's
two
like
birds.
Haley Mills
Yes.
in The Parent Trap.
right. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I like that you went all the way back to the
Sorry,
original
yeah.
Parent Trap.
Not Lindsay Lohan. No. So I like that Brunhilde has this like really antagonistic relationship with the two ravens. I just think it's funny.
She hates them.
I forget what she calls them, but something funny.
Oh, yeah.
Stool pigeons.
Yes.
Ouch. That's a burn. Najaro would have loved that raven bird.
Pigeons are the dumbest
She collects.
birds.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine if you were a raven and somebody called you a pigeon? You'd be like,
Excuse
Yeah.
me.
That seems racist, yeah.
it's bad. It's bad for the birds.
So then we find out, I mean, this is technically the reveal that Brunhilde actually is not to be trusted.
Right.
Because, hey, she actually is a Valkyrie working for Odin. Gasp.
Right. But I think that's like they wouldn't have guessed that.
I mean, she's blonde.
Yeah.
So.
But so is everyone else in Norway, Sweden.
That's
wherever
true.
they're. I think they're in Norway.
I mean, finally we understand why she was such a, like, Xena fangirl. Because, of course, like, the Valkyries at this point would be. Because Odin has also drunk the evil Xena Kool-Aid.
Right.
I'm glad they actually don't play it as that big of a surprise, because you know something's up with Brunhilde from the start. It doesn't really make sense.
So she was supposed to spy on them and then kill Xena and get the ring.
Yeah, when she's weakened by her battles with Brunhilde and Grendel, I guess.
Right.
But Odin has found out from the Ravens, they have told him that Brunhilde has complicated the mission by falling in love with Xena's partner.
Yeah,
And
birds
he says
don't
that
get subtext.
explicitly. Yeah, birds don't understand subtext, so they just jump right to, yep,
Yeah,
she's
they're
in love.
complications. Gayplications.
Yeah. Oh, but it like explicitly stated
Fallen in love.
Yeah.
Gabrielle.
Can you imagine if he was like, you've fallen into friendship?
Did I do that? I feel like they had that line already on Xena. Some kind of.
Yeah.
Oh no, we talked about that. Yeah, because of how they used friend as love. Yeah.
Something
And
comes up
partner,
like
of
that.
course, sounds very different
Yeah.
here than it would normally, I think. Doesn't sound like person I travel with. So I like that Brunhilde's like, oh, but I'm just faking that.
I had to play up to her.
Yeah, sure, Jan.
But this made me again think about her big old hero, Xena, who in the flashbacks was doing nothing but pretending to be in love with
True.
people.
I know,
Pretending to
yeah.
be in love with Odin, pretending to be in love
Wiles.
with the
Right.
Rhine Maiden.
Right.
So
I think
yeah.
she's just bad at using wiles.
Yeah, she
Brunhilde.
just she uses them for real.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
So after Brunhilde's failure here, Odin tells the other Valkyries that there's like a new plan here. Okay, Xena, she has the power to kill the gods and also Valkyries, obviously, but her weakness is Gabs. Okay,
Yep.
Okay, guys.
Yep.
So capture Gabs, and Xena will trade her for the ring.
And if she refuses to make the trade, they'll kill Gabs.
Yeah.
Right. So the way he says that is like he goes right into Brunhilde's face to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a lot of like close face talking.
This dude's into that.
He
I
really
think because he's
is.
not a very intimidating looking person, so the only weapon he's got is his breath. Get him right in the face.
So that herring breath.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting choice by this actor.
I dig him this time.
Yeah,
know
I did
we
too,
were
yeah.
complaining about him in part 1, but I honestly think his sort of
Yeah.
he's like just a little shit. Yeah, he's sort of mean and petty and frustrating. And I think that's perfect
Yeah.
here.
So meanwhile, Beowulf's like, what's keeping Brunhilde?
All right, yeah, she's been gone for like half an hour
Yeah.
doing his scouting.
Right. And Xena's super suspicious now for sure, and that's when the Valks attack.
Yes.
We have a new head Valkyrie, I guess. Like, she's the one that we see a lot of. I'm assuming she's in charge.
I looked her up on IMDb, and she's in First Reformed. So job and actress. Still doing solid work.
Okay. Did they say head Valkyrie on her IMDb for this episode? Okay, so she immediately points to Gab. She's like, that one, get the blonde.
Yeah. Yeah, they just take off with her. Well, Brunhilde takes off with her.
Yeah,
this
I mean,
was
like,
a
this was
gorgeous
cool.
shot,
Yeah.
I thought, of Brunhilde on horseback riding up.
Yeah.
Like, I would call this Lord of the Rings light.
Oh, like
happening
when
right now.
when Arwen snatches Frodo.
Maybe. I don't know, something about like it's like falling in these blue shafts through the trees. It's really pretty. I think it's either like, like Twilight or
Trees.
Trees that walk around.
Oh, that's
Also
true.
in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, shit.
haven't
In the second
mentioned,
one.
yeah.
In the second one.
Yeah.
Oh.
They've kind of modeled Grendel off the Ents. That's confusing.
Grindl definitely moves much faster
Yeah.
than the fucking Ents.
So yeah, Brunhilde grabs Gavs. And
This is
flies
shocking
off.
because like
It
this
happens really quick.
Yeah, this is a big fight. You don't really get what's happening, and then she like not only grabs her, but like then takes off
Just
into the
immediately.
sky.
Which is a great thing to be able to do.
Yeah.
Xena immediately goes berserk, which I love.
And they do the Mulder
Naturally.
Scully screaming.
Yep.
Xena, Gabrielle.
She's like, and then goes to town on a bunch of Valkyries, like,
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah. And the screeching is back.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah.
is when
That's what I mean.
I guess so. Maybe the screeching is just whenever there's any kind of emotional upheaval.
Yes.
The battle screech reemerges.
not happy.
Oh my god. All right. Odin apparates at that moment and he's like, Xena, let's talk about this. I thought that was such a funny line.
Yeah. See, he's a little unimpressive in a way that I think really works. You're just like, ugh.
And then he puts
You.
he sticks his face into the head Valk's face and he's like, alone.
Yeah.
So she GTFOs.
And then his first line to Xena is like such a line. You look amazing, Xena, for a mortal.
35
God.
years.
Ooh.
Oh. To be fair, that's weird.
And she also does look amazing.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's weird.
She's a 10. Yep.
She should be a lot older.
So
Yeah.
he first, sticks to his own plan and is like, okay, we're going to trade Gabs for the ring. But Xena can tell that Brunhilde was actually acting alone and that he's freaked out. So she, of course, refuses to make this trade. And then Odin threatens her. He tells her that she killed Brunhilde's son.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And that if he tells Brunhilde about this, they can be allies.
They'll be formidable.
So he's like, give me the ring so I don't do that. And he tells her to like
Go back to
go
Greece.
back to Greece.
Where you belong.
Wow, there's some xenophobia for you.
Wow.
She's so stressed out. Like, I like her reaction to, well, number one, obviously, is stressed out because the Gabs is missing, but like that she like actively has a stressed and sad feel that she killed this woman's son.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's horrible. And
Yeah.
she's done that, now as a doer of good. She's trying to make amends by coming up
Yeah.
here.
And also, like-
right now, she's made things worse.
Imprisoning, she probably feels bad about imprisoning a pregnant lady, too.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, this kid didn't do anything ever.
Yeah.
Like, a real innocent who apparently has forsaken love.
Right. I have
In a
a...
cave, you like your tree.
You're-
I don't know.
Tree in a cave.
I have a note for that line of like, go back to Greece where you belong. Just saying pins, question mark? Because, yeah.
Oh, you mean like when they, mess around?
Yeah, and
elsewhere?
other cultures and other
Yeah.
things happen
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Go back to Greece. Okay.
Everywhere has its own rules, and the Norse
Yeah.
land is no different. Although Xena did help set it up some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Distinguishes it from some of the other places she goes to.
All right. So Odin really wants this ring, man, like real bad.
Yeah,
Xena's
this
like,
is when it's revealed that
Well-
he's not trying to return it to the Ride Maidens. He wants the ring for himself.
right. And Xena's like, uh-oh, you forsaken love. And he's like, bitch, you guessed it.
Oh! He says, after Xena, it wasn't hard. Was he in love with Xena?
Yeah.
I guess I
Yeah.
didn't quite understand
Dude,
that.
everyone's in love with Xena.
But then again, he was
including
such a
us.
dum-dum around her that
He
I
was.
guess it's not surprising.
Yeah, and that's why he was like he was like playing hard to get with her, but he clearly was in love with her.
Yeah, and she obviously, she appeared to him right when he was at his lowest and helped him out of that. So
Right.
I can see why he's so betrayed by her.
Yeah.
So I liked that they brought in Xena's god-slaying abilities here. You know, that of course he needs an all-powerful ring to protect himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that this has kind of spread to other gods.
Yeah.
She's like notorious in all the god
She
circles.
literally wiped out this whole pantheon of Greek gods. Everybody else is like,
all the other gods are hearing about this.
Don't come near me, please.
Go back to Greece.
Yeah.
Oh, how did we feel about her brown barrette? Do we like it?
Oh yeah, you get a good view of it when they do the hug at the beginning.
I like it. It's fine. It's like it blends. It's nice.
I'm glad it wasn't any kind of like gold medal because that would have been confusing.
Oh my God.
I just felt like I kept noticing it in a way when I usually don't, and the only other time was in a family affair.
Right. Whenever you have long, lingering Xena Gabrielle hugs, you notice the barrettes.
So Odin announces that he's going to go off and to join Brunhilde, and he disapparates.
Yeah.
Odin out.
He's like, I'll give her your regards.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
a good, what is it? Lannisters send their regards.
Exactly.
It's one of those. So now we have Brunhilde touching down with Gabrielle. This is a funny scene.
Yeah. So, I mean, Beowulf says that they're going to the Eastwind Bog again, the same fucking place.
They're going right back to where they,
everyone's favorite bog. So they know where to go. And then Brunhilde, then we see them arriving there.
And Gabs is like, what are you doing? Why did you take me out of the battle? Xena's back there. Oh my God, you've removed me from Xena. And Brunhilde has finally had enough.
Yep. Is Xena all you think about? Xena.
I love it. And Gabs is like,
yeah.
Yeah, she's like not at all scolded by this. She's like, of course. Come on.
She says, Xena is my family. She's the most important thing in my life.
Oh, that's really sweet.
That's some good lines.
We're cool with her, Xena being her only topic.
Oh, is this not past the Bechdel test?
No, I'm just kidding. I was like, should she have some other topics? Like maybe some other hobbies, I'm just kidding.
It's funny because literally Xena was like the one thing she and Brunhilde had in common. Like they both talked about how much they loved Xena.
Yeah, they bonded over
That
Xena.
was like what the Rheingold was about. So it's really funny that now Brunhilde is like, sick of talking about Xena.
Well, Brunhilde's basically melting from her love here.
Yeah, her declaration of love, I think, is really beautiful.
Yeah, it is really nice, yeah.
She says that she brings to Valhalla the bravest warriors slain in battle. She brings heroes. These are the people she's around. But Gabs, her heart has more truth and courage than any I have seen. The beauty in your heart burns like a star.
Aww.
That is some intense declaration.
Yeah.
Her little heart.
But also true.
And she explains that she was supposed to betray Gabs, and she couldn't.
Yeah.
Gabs changed her.
You changed me the way you've changed Xena. That's intense.
That only took her
4 years. I mean...
Real fast. Yeah, Xena took years.
Woo, years.
So, I mean, this is a really beautiful speech. And Brunhilde's really putting it all on the line, and poor Gabs.
Yeah. She's just like...
This is a lot.
Yeah.
And, of course, Brunhilde has kind of just kidnapped her in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
So Gabs is sort of, not loving this at all.
Yeah.
It's just so strong and so much for this short amount of time they know each other. She literally grabs her right now. It's like, I defied my God for you, Gabrielle. And there's these angry zooms and shit.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Well, she's sort of nice guying her. Look how nice I am. Yeah. I'm nice for you, Gabs, and I'm owed something in return for my niceness.
Right. I mean, she also makes decisions for her that shouldn't be made.
Yeah,
and
Brunhilde's
yeah.
It's a bad boyfriend.
I mean, she's not even her boyfriend. That's the thing.
That's definitely the thing. So, yeah, I mean, Gabs tries to let her down easy. She just says, I don't know what to say.
I mean, yeah.
It's a lot. Can you imagine?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then she apologizes.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, Brunhilde is still super sad over the body of her dead son.
She's still maternal instincts.
Yes. And Odin shows up to make that alliance.
And also to compliment her on how good she looks. This is like his one line he has on the ladies.
Oh my gosh. You look great, despite being a tree monster.
Sorry, Xena killed your son. Oh, BT dubs. It was Xena killed your son.
Yeah. So let's kill Xena.
Let's hold hands and kill Xena.
Oh my god,
which is
yeah,
what
that was
happens.
so weird, yeah. Because he needs to, like, apparate
Yeah.
them both, but it was really awkward, him holding that monster's hand.
So now back to the scene we actually care about, which is Brunhilde and Gabs, and
yeah.
the awkward conversation that will never end. Gabs is being very patient and trying to explain things to Brunhilde. She says, Xena and I have a connection. It's stronger than either one of us. We're soulmates. We're meant to be together. We didn't make it that way. It just is.
My love is strong, too, says Brunhilde.
What a great line, though.
Yeah.
We didn't make it that way. It just is.
Yeah, I think, it's just really, it's really lovely that line is in there and just super important, I feel like, to hear.
So they hear Xena calling, so she's, like, in the area. Gabs calls back, and Brunhilde draws her sword. She's gonna prove to Gabs who really deserves her love.
Great idea, Brunhilde.
It's gonna work. This is what the ladies want.
Digging yourself in deeper here, girl. This is all right out of the Najara playbook. And see how well that worked out. Then, returning to a storyline no one cares about.
Beowulf.
It's Beowulf and his unrequited love for
Yeah.
Gabs. He says for her he'd go through the fires of hell, so, like, this eastern bog is fine. Great. I'm so glad we're reminded Beowulf exists.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Beowulf and how, like, useless he is in like, kind of this whole trilogy. He's super useless.
Yeah.
And you know who's the other useless character in this trilogy? Odin.
No, he's not useless.
Well, he's kind of useless. He's the villain. But he's not very interesting, you know?
He's more interesting than Beowulf.
I mean, a tree is more interesting than Beowulf.
Yeah, both trees.
And actually, the trees are really interesting.
Yeah.
I actually really love that, like, you know, from the ring cycle, we're taking all the female characters and kind of investigating them. And from Beowulf, you're taking the monsters and investigating them. I think it's interesting that our show loves to take kind of the characters who, like, you know, English and Germanic tradition, not necessarily ignores, but like, you know, like both the Norse sagas and Beowulf are sort of, you know, the masculine hero.
Right,
like that, you know, they're about male energy. And I think, like, instead going the route of investigating the female characters and the monsters is definitely on brand for Xena.
For sure. And I just can't believe how unbelievable Beowulf's attraction to Gabs is. Like, I really don't get it.
He literally hasn't spoken to her. He's in a way much creepier than Brunhilde with her possessive, like, you know, horribleness that's happening right now because he just has no reason for feeling this way.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be like a love at first sight kind of thing, but like he's like, I don't know, that's
but usually
creepy.
Love at first sight does, you
then
know.
you talk to the person.
Then you talk to the
like,
person, and then you're like, oh, it was love at first sight because I loved you, and then I met you, and I still loved you. But he literally still hasn't met her. So it's weird.
It's really weird. So they're walking and they're talking, and then suddenly Odin and the Valks appear.
And I love that Odin just immediately fireballs Beowulf.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, thank you.
He wants the ring.
And she, like...
Yeah.
I love it. She pulls a power move and is like, remember how I can kill gods? Step aside, dude. Or join the Olympians.
Well, he doesn't. He throws a fireball. And Xena somersaults away. I think that was in slow-mo, I believe. Right?
Oh, yeah. Somersault and slow-mo. And this is fun then, because she, like, stops, like, in front of a tree.
Yeah, she's like, whew, she's fine, it's fine.
Catch my breath in front of this tree, shaded by this nice tree.
And
then the tree's like, surprise, bitch! I'm Grunhilde!
And then she gives her an evil hug.
Yeah, gives her an evil hug.
That's the third hug she's getting.
Yeah, this is, like, about the power of deadly hugs. That's what this middle chapter of the ring cycle is about.
Odin tells the Valks to find Gabs. And at his order, kill her.
Dun dun dun.
And then he gross laughs into Xena's face.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Right?
Yeah, she's being deadly hugged.
Yeah. But she kicks him in his dumb face.
He's a little bitch. He's annoying.
I mean, yeah, I'm digging
He's
this.
petty.
Yeah, I like it. So a fight breaks out. Beowulf starts fighting that head Valkyrie lady, and Xena, she stabs Brunhilde's leg.
All right, with a dagger.
Yeah,
a helpful little dagger.
Yeah, that like helps her be released.
Now she's fighting Brunhilde while Beowulf fights head Valk and Odin. This is the funniest part.
Oh, it is.
The match of the century. Odin versus flying chakram.
Yeah. So he throws an axe at Xena, and she counters with the chakram. The chakram, of course, cuts the axe in half, and then it goes after Odin.
Yeah.
He just does this little dance.
Yeah. I called it Odin's chakram dance.
He's just like wagging his booty this way, wagging it that way, just to avoid the chakram.
The chakram is very intense and has one purpose, and that purpose is to cut off his mullet.
Odin look like an idiot.
No, he's going after the mullet.
He always does what Xena wants.
Give that man a haircut.
So that's clearly what she wants most.
Yeah. And then, oops, head Valk skewers Beowulf.
Oh my gosh, this moment was like so overblown in the show.
Oh my god.
The music is like doing full. Yeah, and you're just like, who is he?
I was like, that's kind of an awkward journey to Valhalla, right? She kills him, but then she's taken back.
Well, he's a slain warrior, but I don't think he's a slain warrior who like loves Odin. I don't think any slain warrior goes.
I thought they take their people, anybody who believes in the Norse gods or whatever.
I guess, but is that Beowulf's deal? I guess so. I don't know. I don't
think
really know if he worships
I think
Odin.
He belongs up there if anyone does, you know?
All right, write the fic. Sure.
I don't want to, thanks. No thanks. So, okay, Brunhilde, like, does this golf swing with her arms.
Oh, yeah, that's what she really whacks.
And she hits, she hits Xena, like, oh, man. She hits her in these, like, roots. I don't know, this, like, little enclosure.
It's just, like, cornered.
Yeah, she, like, is surrounded.
Yeah,
that's what's
important. They gang up on her. And
everybody's there.
Yeah,
now.
and she kind of like looks. There's Beowulf and he's dead. No one can help.
No Gabs. No Gabs.
What does she do? She threatens to put on the ring, and Odin's like, "But you love Gabs. You can't do that.
You can't sacrifice Gabs."
And she's like, "Well, the ring works for everyone at first. Ha.
Remember the fine producer?
Just ask her."
All right. Yeah, that was funny how she's like, monster will tell you.
And then she's like, the monster's like, Rawr. Yep, that's true.
So, I mean, we're mocking it, but it is pretty dramatic that Xena is willing to give up her love, sacrifice herself in this way.
Her essence.
I mean, it's unclear, obviously, what it means, It destroys the thing you value most.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It sounds really, like, alarming. Like, Gabs might die herself.
I know.
Yep. But Xena, chooses to interpret it as probably her own self being sacrificed.
Mm-hmm. It's whatever Xena holds dearest in her heart. They go because they have to go through the rules again in case, like, I don't know, you're tuning in
very
right
confusing.
now. Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, I probably could stand to hear the rules one more time.
Yeah. They also say.
Honestly, like, later when they say, like, it's destroyed the memories of the woman Gabrielle helped you to become, I thought Xena was literally going to become evil Xena again. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Listen. Can you please table this for a conversation?
I know. We're about to get there.
Like, don't even go there yet.
We can do it next week.
Yeah.
It's not even that. We can do it at the end of this episode.
Yeah, we'll do it. All right. So she puts on the ring. We get purple light. We get, like,
the orgasm.
The evil wind, which you might remember from Heart of Darkness.
Yeah. Oh, face, she is evil. I mean, she's not evil. She's like, powerful.
She's just super powerful. And actually, this is really cool.
Yeah.
These shots of her being super powerful. I love how her weapons leap back into her hands.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
The chakram and the sword.
See, like, it makes you assume that she's gonna have crazy powers. She's gonna do so much shit.
So exciting.
She doesn't do that much.
Nah, she's just better at fighting.
Hardly.
The ring is not all it's cracked up to be. It seems to mostly be the worst.
Yeah,
which is always the takeaway from these sorts of stories. You craft an all-powerful object, and it's not going to help you at all.
So as soon as she puts on the ring, Odin's like, kill Gabrielle. And then there's a big fight.
We have Valkyries attacking Gabrielle and Brunhilde, and meanwhile, obviously, Xena is just wailing on Valkyries and Brunhilde.
Yeah, Odin keeps firing, like, his fireballs at her, and she, like, always, like, redirects them. She throws one at Grunhilde, she throws one at Head Valkyrie, and then she, like, kills the other 2 Valks or whatever that were there. That was pretty brutal.
Yeah, I was shocked by the brutality of this. I was like, is this intentional? And then it turns out to be, yes, intentional. It's like an intentional brutality, seeing the blood on the sword. Because Gabs is horrified that Brunhilde is just like, these are like her co-workers / sisters. I don't really know the relationship between Valkyrie, but like, this is pretty cold.
Yeah. Yeah, Gabs is chasing after Brunhilde, and, she's trying to talk her down. There's a really cute moment where Renee trips.
Oh, she's so intent
really
on getting her point across.
Yeah.
I love how Brunhilde delivers the line, like, oh no, Xena, they're gonna kill her before I get the chance to prove my love to you.
I loved that. That was one of the moments, like the many moments I like had an actual like literal laugh out loud at the line deliveries.
It's so nice too.
It's just an unexpected way of line and way of delivery of the line.
It is.
Yeah. She's always like about it.
Yeah, she rolls her eyes a lot in a way that is very funny.
Well, Gabs has had enough.
Well, okay, yeah. I feel like this is the part where I had a thought earlier, but now I don't. Let's see. Go ahead. We'll see what my brain does.
She shakes Brunhilde by the shoulders.
Yes.
She says, what are you fighting for? Like, you want to win my love by shedding blood for me? You call that love? Or friendship.
That's what that was. That's what it was. Because I was going to be like, oh, that's just friendship. Yes, that was the joke there. Yes. Yes, that's smart. Yes, joke.
And then she says, you're sick.
Yeah.
Just very strong language. And the way Renee delivers this, I almost didn't recognize Gabrielle in these words. They were so strong and kind of harsh.
Yeah,
this kind of reminded me of the conversation Xena had with Odin when he was like telling her about how cool the runes are or whatever that in the first part, and she's like, I'm not into that.
I'm not into that, Odin.
So like she's like, I'm not into this.
Like, I'm not into people killing in my name. Yeah. You're wiping blood off your sword in front of me is not turning me on. No,
exactly. And I mean, I feel like you have to think about, and we make the jokes about the way of friendship and all that stuff, but the idea is more that just Brunhilde is like, I want to do all these things for you, and just it's not about any kind of like necessity.
That's a great point.
It's like, and Gabs' whole thing is at this point, and has always been, but like now that she has grappled with violence and stuff, is that like it has to serve a higher purpose, and it has to serve, whether it's Xena or the greater good or whatever. It's not about like just impressing your girlfriend to do a murder, like which is kind of why she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's not going to impress me if you just go running around like shedding blood for me for no reason.
Yeah, it's so close to sort of what you actually see Xena doing, killing to protect Gabrielle, or, these are romantic ideals that we've seen, but it's in this distorted way that you can immediately, like, dismiss.
Yeah, and it's not to say that, like, there isn't situations going on here where, like, Brunhilde isn't trying to, like, protect Gabrielle or anything like that, but it is, like, the way that she speaks about it is just a kind of about,
Right, in the same way that she's upset that Xena might get killed before she can prove how much better than Xena she is.
Exactly. It's not, her thinking about it is not in the right place.
And of course, we talk so often about, like, selfless love versus, like, a more kind of egocentric love. And, like, this is, like, the egocentric version to the max. This is, like, her putting her love before anything.
Right, yeah. Xena is fighting Grunhilde. She's kicking some tree ass. She's kicking Odin's ass. She's kicking that head Valk's ass. Oh, man. She seems pretty close to killing Brunhilde, TBH.
Yeah.
But then she hears Gabs call her name.
Yes. I love when she hears her name. She gets so excited.
Yeah, the look on her face, I called it just like a bloody sneer.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's more complicated than that.
So she flips right out of there. She just
she's just like, okay,
jumps
Xena
in the air
out.
And flips out of there. And Head Valk is gonna go chase after her, but Odin holds her back, being like, "Don't worry about it. That ring's gonna kick in right
now. 45 seconds are almost up.
Anytime now.
But yeah, pretty funny that you're right. She also didn't use her 45 seconds to kill Brunhilde, just like Brunhilde didn't use them to kill her.
Yeah, it's...
Rings are useless.
I hate this. So Brunhilde runs into Xena in the woods.
This is my favorite Brunhilde line delivery of all. Okay, yeah, Brunhilde and Xena in the woods.
She notices the ring on Xena's fuck you finger.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, but you haven't forsaken love. Take it off. It's like she just saw her modeling, like, I don't know, like a vinyl jacket. She's like, it doesn't look good on you. Take it off.
Yeah, man.
It's funny, but it's also really good. It's delightful.
Mm-hmm. And Xena, this is where Xena's like kind of doing that Gollum, like, you know, what are you doing?
And you can kind of see on
back.
Xena's face that like something's up. She's not reacting to this the way you would expect.
She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Uh-oh. It kicked in.
Yeah, she's like, what's my name? What's my name?
Oh no. Upsetting.
She doesn't remember shit, you guys.
And of course, Brunhilde immediately is like, well, what about Gabrielle? And Xena's like, I don't know her. She Mariah's her.
She literally is like, I don't know her. I don't know her. Yeah, this is scary. Not cool.
And she does what you said about how she kind of Gollums this.
Yeah. But that's where I was like, oh, like she wants the ring still, like, but she doesn't really.
She doesn't really want the ring. She's more just confused, I think.
Yeah.
Why does everybody want my ring?
Right. Yeah, and Brunhilde's like, okay, if you give me the ring, like, everyone will leave you alone. It's totally cool. And definitely, she should just, like, really take advantage of it. Like, oh, Gabrielle, like, you don't know Gabs? Great. Here's my chance.
This is, kind of a deceptive scene because, like, it's sort of funny and sort of sad, and it's our moment of realizing that Xena is in this, like, vulnerable state.
Right.
I think it's an interesting moment for Brunhilde because we've only seen her being, hating Xena and, like, wanting to, like, get Gabrielle away from her, and now here's this moment with Xena being, at her mercy. And she takes the all-powerful ring from her, and you're like, oh, shit, this woman could go very bad very fast now.
She definitely has not forsaken love.
Yeah, that's true. That ring will really, really not work for her. It'll just be like, nope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she, like, hates Xena. It's just that she has very complicated feelings about her. Yeah. And I think that they showed that well throughout the episodes.
That's true. That is really
true. It's not
true.
one note,
And she still wants to model herself on who Xena was, and now sort of who Xena is.
Yes, exactly. So Xena gives the ring to Brunhilde, and then she drops her sword, and she sees the chakram, and she picks it up. She likes the shiny round thing. And
she really turns into Megabit.
Yeah, there's a little bit. There's a little bit. You're like, ooh.
I don't know about it.
Her turning into Meg at this moment is really the right tone to strike.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know that it's a round killing thing.
I think it's meant to be sort of childlike. That's
yeah.
Like here's a pretty toy.
Yeah, it's like a weird round thing, and she holds it up, and suddenly it cuts her palm. And she notices that it's like super bleeding.
The worst spot.
And she drops it.
Yeah.
In an interview with Joel Metzger, he says that this idea was Rick's. Rick added this detail. She was supposed to like look at the chakram and drop it, but Rick was like, let's have her cut herself with it. Because Rick was like, more blood, please.
Thank you, Rick.
It's a great image. And obviously just the idea of Xena, cutting herself on her own weapon.
Yeah.
It's very disturbing.
I thought it was one of the most effective things. And I'm really not into this whole memory loss thing. I don't know, maybe now we can talk about it.
All right, unpin that pin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would much rather have seen her. I mean, what would it mean to lose the thing you hold dear? For me, it would be all the character growth of the show.
Exactly. Yeah. It's her redemption arc.
That's
it's this whole thing with like she should forget Gabrielle and like literally go back to whatever 10 years in her mind 10 years ago.
So clearly that would be what would happen, and I think it sounds like a much more exciting story. I think this is actually one of the moments where their kind of faithfulness to the source is a problem. Yeah. Because Siegfried like drinks a potion and loses his memory, and then is like gonna marry a woman who is not Brunhilde. That's the plot of Götterdämmerung. So they're kind of using that for their final act of the ring cycle. And I feel like the setup here seems to be hinting at what to me sounds like a much more exciting storyline, which is what happens if Xena really does have the thing she holds dear most destroyed. The idea that it's just all of her memories is like... That doesn't really track.
Gabrielle gets eternal sunshine, but just that.
Oh my God!
Then she would be like herself before the show again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. As if everything that happened to her with Gabrielle didn't happen anymore. Yeah, as it is the fact that she's forgotten everything doesn't even really track. It doesn't seem
work
like
at all.
What would have happened.
She could have you could have made that Götterdämmerung like thing fit with evil Xena. Like she could just be trying to marry some guy for some kind of alliance or whatever. She does that
all the time.
Yeah, just be super evil about it. Like trying to marry the fucking Emperor of Rome. I don't know. Just
they definitely could have just done something else and been like, it's still Wagner, sure. Like I mean, it's not like they've cared about being close to the source before now.
Why can't you just kind of offshoot it? Like do not exactly the
it's just odd because they have not been setting up the storyline that this suddenly veers into. Like it's just hard to accept that her just total loss of memory is the thing that would happen if you forsake and love all of that business.
I don't like that.
So
Gab's going around being like, Xena, and Brunhilde tells her it's no use. Xena won't know her because she's put on the ring and she's lost what she values most.
Oh, Gab's face.
Face
journey when she like...
The memories of you. Yeah. The woman you helped her become. Again, all of this implies that she's just evil
gonna
Xena.
Be evil Xena. It'll be great.
And I hate this.
And Gab's gentle little no when
the face journey. The face journey. Oh, it's good.
So then Brunhilde gives her the ring.
Yeah. She's like, it's too powerful to fall into undeserving hands. I don't know why. I don't know. She should just take it back.
Also.
I love this scene.
Of course, this is extremely romantic.
Bananas. They've known each other for 2 days.
Well, she also said that like
I would do it too, so it's fine.
Odin and the Vax won't stop. Like they'll stop at nothing to kill Xena and Gabs or whatever and get the ring. So she's like, the ring's too powerful to fall into undeserving hands, and so are you.
So she says that she can't protect her in this form.
Yeah, like what?
Gabs is confused
like,
by that.
Pardon?
What's happening now? So she becomes an eternal flame.
Wait, what's that song?
That song from the 80s?
Yeah, the Bangles.
I can't sing very well.
Oh, gosh. That was just not recognizable.
Shut up! We can sing.
An eternal flame.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Say my name.
So this was set up in the Wrangles.
Yes.
This was back then when Xena herself was told that this is something Valkyries can do with runes.
And this is what she was not into.
And she was not into it. Yeah. But Brunhilde, who, had been modeling herself on that Xena.
She's like, this is my kink.
I'm into it now. So I mean, this is after saying how egocentric Brunhilde is, she finally understands how to love selflessly by literally annihilating herself.
Well,
in just the burninating flames of her own passion for Gabs.
Yep,
it's romantic.
It's very romantic.
So the rules of this are
new rules. Get your pens out. Get ready for another set of rules.
Did she make up these rules, or is it?
It sounds like she's almost putting them into place. Like I'm putting a lock on this fence.
Yeah.
Here's how you break through.
Right. So that she's going to be an eternal flame, and only Gabs' true soulmate will be able to pass through the fire.
Gabrielle will be safe from Odin and company.
Right. So she starts chanting, and she becomes the flame.
I really enjoy how she can still talk when she's
As a
flames. And
flame.
she's like, see? You have changed me.
This reminded me of the fire demon from Howl's Moving Castle. It was like, what? Talking fire.
All right, guys.
Okay, this is fun. I don't care if you don't like this because I like the fairy tale elements and that aesthetic, and I love
the aesthetic.
Flames like go across Gabs, and she just magically gets a
She
fairy
gets a
tale
new
outfit
look.
for no reason,
Yep.
and it's lovely.
Yeah.
I also just love the visual of, the column of fire where Brunhilde was standing. And, it cuts to Gabrielle looking at it, and she's kind of doing what I call, the Spielberg face, where, just, struck with wonder. She's just, big-eyed, oh, my God. I think it's rare to actually see people make that face on Xena, and I feel like it was totally warranted here. This was an amazing moment visually.
I love the little gold crown she gets.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
not a crown, whatever it is.
Yeah, a little tiara thing.
Headband.
No
leaves.
comment. No
A
comment.
circlet.
Vera hates
I hate
this.
that she gets a new look.
I like it.
Don't you love that this magical fire gives her a makeover as well as putting
I
her to sleep?
honestly think it's kind of
pretty.
rude because it gives her this weird heteronormative look from Brunhilde.
It's
Brunhilde's
playing
into
on
that.
Sleeping Beauty though with all women, so calm down.
I know, but
Calm yourself
that's
down.
what it seems like. That's what Brunhilde's into.
That's true, to turn her into this sort of fairy tale
I don't
princess,
know.
which, to be fair, is sort of how Brunhilde talks about her.
Yeah,
is that
I
she is that
guess.
fairy tale
She
princess.
can't just lie there in her regular clothes. She needs to have a
That's
special
the
outfit.
Gabs Brunhilde fell in love with.
Oh, do you not like it because it's like when a guy gives a lady a dress
Yes!
that she doesn't
That's
wanna
true.
wear?
I do hate when a guy gets a lady
It's
a dress.
weird. She's making her over into this version that I don't know.
And Gabrielle obviously is not 100% down with any of this because
She
she's
puts
sort of
her to sleep.
she's like, the
I
fuck is
know,
happening?
it's not the best.
All of this
Well,
is-
neither is Sleeping Beauty. It's all messed up.
it's like half super romantic but half extremely wrong.
But
It's
that's
just-
what's
yeah.
great about everything and every story to ever exist.
That romance
Yeah.
seems to come with but it's a little gross. Yeah. I mean, it's true that so much of Brunhilde's relationship with Gabrielle has been this sort of possessive, I want to have you, I want you for myself, and in a way that's what happens here. She's
Yes.
like, you're mine, I'm just gonna circle you, no one can get you but your one true love.
Which is
Yeah.
not me, and she admits it, and
Yeah.
thus is setting up a great thing for later.
But is she also
true.
assuming that that'll never happen because Xena doesn't remember anything?
Oh, jeez.
So
I don't
that
think
means
so.
that
I don't
she
think Brunhilde
has
has an
Gaps
agenda
sleeping
here.
forever here with her.
But I'd read that fanfic where actually Fire Brunhilde is still very much playing a long game.
Yeah. So, all right, that was really cool.
I should say that this also is from the source material. This is from Die Valkyrie, the ending of Die Valkyrie. Odin puts Brunhilde to sleep. So this is fun because we're kind of swapping roles. It's Brunhilde who gets to do the putting
that's
to
awesome.
sleep in Xena, sort of taking control of her own narrative, in the source. And it's also a really pretty part. I know I was dissing Götterdämmerung last time when we were talking about our having seen some of these operas, but I actually kind of recommend Die Valkyrie.
Part 3?
No, part 2. Part 2 actually is not that long and has this really dramatic
Only one
ending.
sandwich break.
Maybe only one sandwich break. And then, Ring of Fire on stage. That's badass. It's pretty
Okay,
cool.
all right.
cool.
So, guess what, guys? Beowulf is not dead. Tis but a
Sad.
we were so flesh wound.
But at this point, he's the only person, kind of still in the
Yeah,
game.
that's
He's
true.
left.
So he's actually an important character in being still around.
He finds Xeno's shit scattered.
This is
everywhere,
interesting, right?
her
Because
weapons.
we're ending the second part of the Ring trilogy the exact same way as the first, with Xena's stuff being separated from her and somebody
right.
finding
That's
it.
interesting. Yeah.
And I kind of mentioned this as having themes that'll reappear in the finale, and so it's interesting that here they
stuff.
are happening again.
Yeah.
Xena's stuff separated from Xena feels like a kind of death.
I thought, a lot of this episode for some reason had a lot of kind of foreshadowing to the finale, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, Gabs is passing out in her bed rock situation.
slowly.
Flopping slowly.
He has a nice little rock mattress to sleep on.
Yeah.
It's a Casper, brought to you by Casper.
I'm sure her back will be fine after 100 years of that.
Jesus.
And there's this really extreme close-up of her fingers relaxing, and you
she's got
see
the
ring
ring.
is in there. And we conclude our episode with...
Xena's like losing her fight against the trees. The trees' revenge. Did you see? They're like, she's like, there are vines on her, and she doesn't have her, her weapons anymore, so she's like, ugh, get him away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's having a hard time in the forest.
She is, yeah. I thought this was actually really interesting. The little bit where she's like, they're laughing at me.
Yes.
And
I like that
you
too.
can hear laughter, and that was like, it really brought me back to the Furies. That was very much like her madness in the Furies.
Yeah.
And we felt really upset for her there.
And it's interesting that Xena's this seemingly blank slate here who remembers nothing.
But yet can hear people like voices
so
laughing at her? That's fucked up.
She's aware. That's all that's left. So
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it did seem very revealing to
my
like her
goodness.
essential psychology.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know what it means.
What does
We
that
can
mean?
debate it for a while.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then she does a lot of begging and who am I, please? Tell me. Who am I? Who am I? There's a really funny quote from Joel Metzger, like talking about how to end the episode. And he was talking to, I can't remember if it was Rob or RJ. Maybe RJ.
It was Rob.
It was Rob.
Yeah.
This is a Rob idea.
This is a Rob.
He was like, Rob, how do I like dramatize Xena no longer having like her memory? Like, how do you do that? And Rob's like, oh, it's simple. Just have her drop to her knees and scream at the sky, who am I?
Yeah.
Done.
I mean, yeah, I was frustrated. Why not?
I mean, yeah.
Ay.
It was like they did it with this like crane up on her.
I think it works.
Was,
It sounds a lot. I mean, when Rob says it that way, it sounds super cheesy. But then you actually see
right.
Lucy doing it, and it is less cheesy.
Who did
Yeah,
it better, Lucy or Daniel Radcliffe?
Oh, who am I, Hedwig?
What am
I? Which is from a deleted scene from Chamber of Secrets. This is such
We
a
quote
like,
this
deep
all the
cut
time.
joke.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, you know, you have your top 5 most quoted lines from TV or movies that, like, no one would understand, like, and you just say it for no reason. Who am I, Hedwig, is probably at the top.
Yeah, it's true. And we just found out it's from a deleted scene.
Oh, I know. I knew it was
I didn't even know it was. I thought it was in the movie.
It's not
It's
even in the
not.
movie.
Well, he was their friend.
Is definitely in the movie.
So,
But it shouldn't be.
okay, so I don't know. I loved the like little bit about like the voices.
Yeah.
Who am I? She sold it, but like it's not certainly not how I would have loved to dramatize
I
this.
agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's a little silly.
But it is what we got. And we just finished this episode, it seems.
Yeah.
So, part 2, did this conversation change any opinions on likability of this episode?
No, it's a very likable episode. What do you mean? Oh, you mean
Like
like,
for
if you
you,
like
like
it
for
more
us.
than the first one?
I still like the first one more.
Yeah, I think so too.
I do like Brunhilde's arc. I think you get most of it just in this episode.
Yeah.
In a way, this is an episode about Brunhilde, and I think those parts are really strong. I
Right.
think they're really entertaining.
They're very entertaining.
I mean, you know, we've had, I guess, love triangles on Xena before, but this one was super classic and juicy. It really, like, unfolded just how you
Yeah.
kind of, like, you know, I was just sitting there eating the popcorn, watching, you know, all the awkwardness go down, and I think it's very well played.
yeah.
This one's certainly great for all of the very overt shippiness
Yes.
and like some beautiful speeching about
Yeah.
Xena and Gab's relationship and that beautiful hurt comfort at the beginning
Yeah.
where everybody looks great.
All right. Well, this might be one of those things that has like really great parts, but
Yeah,
like
but
overall isn't. That
Yeah,
good.
this I think, it feels like the middle, and not like in
Not
the
in a good
Empire
way.
Strikes Back, like, whoa, way more
Some
like
people
in
like the first movie better. A New Hope. Some people do. Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to say?
No, I think we will like
The mic is over here,
yeah,
Katie.
Sorry, I
Hello.
was just leaning. No, I think we like will wrap everything up and overview it all once we get through the 3rd episode in the trilogy and then kind of tie it all together.
It is really fun that now we're going from kind of creature feature to fairy tale. I think that kind of tonal change is really exciting.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm excited to go there.
Sweet.
All right. In that case, follow us on all the stuff and things.
Yes, please. We are on, what are we on? Apple Podcasts is where you can go and subscribe and listen, and then also rate and leave reviews, which is really great, and we love reading those, and it helps people find the podcast. We are on Twitter at Xena Warrior Pod. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr, Xena Warrior Podcast, and on Patreon if you search for Xena Warrior Podcast. But you can find all of the links to everything just on our regular old website, XenaWarriorPodcast.com.
The power.
The passion.
The podcast!